Okay, we've just seen some cases where A/B testing isn't very helpful. What should we do in those cases? Are there any other techniques you can use?
Well, there are a lot of different ways to gather data about users, and some of them can be complementary to running an A/B test eventually as well. So for example, often you'll have logs of what users did on your website. You can analyze them retrospectively or observationally to see if a hypothesis can be developed about what's causing changes in their behavior. And that's something where you may want to go forward and actually design and randomize an experiment, do a prospective analysis, and you can use the two data sources as to kind of complement each other, where you may develop a hypothesis from looking at the logs, but you actually want to test out whether you can make this happen in an experiment. And so then you'll want to run an A/B test as well to compare the results and see if your theory is valid.
There's a whole host of other techniques as well, ranging from user experience research to focus groups and surveys and human evaluation. Now, what happens is that A/B testing can give you a lot of broad quantitative data, but these other techniques give you very deep and qualitative data that are really complementary to A/B testing. So for example, these other techniques can do a better job of telling you which mountain you should be on. So we'll be going over some of these other techniques in lesson 3.
So there are definitely some things that are very difficult to test with A/B testing. So for example, if you completely redo your site or change the way that users interact with it, that's something that can be really hard to run a controlled experiment with, and we'll talk about why later in the course.